NHS pays staggering £4. £1 billion in compensation for birth-related brain damage, exposing systemic failures. Over the past 11 years, the National Health Service, NHS, has disbursed a staggering £4. £1 billion in compensation to families whose babies sustained brain damage during childbirth, highlighting a persistent crisis characterized by the failure of maternity units to learn from mistakes. NHS figures reveal that in 1,307 cases, parents were left to care for babies with cerebral palsy or other forms of brain injury, leading to massive payouts totaling £3. $6 billion in damages. NHS resolution. The body responsible for defending English hospitals against medical negligence claims incurred an additional £490 million in legal fees, bringing the total cost of these lawsuits to £4. 077 BN. These figures are both shocking and tragic. They should serve as a clarion call for the entire NHS, said Robert Rose of Lyme Solicitors, which obtained the data through Freedom of Information laws. The relentless repetition of mistakes in maternity care is a scandal that hospitals must no longer ignore. Cases involving brain-damaged babies, often due to oxygen deprivation during labor, can cost the NHS up to £20 million per settlement, reflecting the exorbitant lifelong care expenses associated with severe disabilities. These newborns often suffer cognitive and physical impairments, including spastic movements and profound difficulties with vision, speech, and learning. The £4. £1 billion payout for brain-damaged babies underscores the growing crisis of substandard care within NHS maternity services. According to the Care Quality Commission, CQC, the independent health regulator, nearly two-thirds of maternity units in England are unsafe, with deteriorating overall care standards. A recent parliamentary report exposed the alarming scale of birth trauma suffered by mothers when things go wrong, resulting in harm to themselves, their babies, or both. MPs demanded urgent measures to enhance care safety, including addressing chronic staff shortages. The data reveal that between 2012-13 and 2022-23, 10 NHS trusts, primarily those operating large acute hospitals, settled at least 20 negligence cases involving cerebral palsy or brain damage. Arts Health Trust in London settled the highest number, 36, incurring costs of £32. 6 meters. Many of these births occurred years before the settlements were finalized, as cases can take considerable time to reach resolution between NHS resolution and families. While the number of settled claims does not necessarily reflect the quality of care provided by a particular trust, it may indicate the size and demographics of the population served. Nottingham University Hospital's NHS Trust, currently embroiled in an inquiry into alleged maternity care errors, has settled 16 cases at a cost of £44. 76 meters. Other trusts, with recent maternity scandals, Morecambe Bay, East Kent, and Shrewsbury and Telford, have settled 14, 12, and 11 cases, respectively, at costs of £36. 3 meters. £27, 4 meters, and £16. 7 meters. Rose, Lyme Solicitors head of clinical negligence, identified common errors committed by maternity staff, including inadequate monitoring of fetal growth during pregnancy and insufficient heartbeat monitoring during labor. He criticized the NHS for abandoning an initiative launched years ago to promptly investigate birth complications and provide explanations to parents. Instead, he observed, legal proceedings often drag on for as long as 9 years despite clear evidence of errors. Quote, in addition to the brain damage cases, NHS Resolution has settled 933 legal actions involving stillbirths, totaling £93 million, according to its Freedom of Information response. In a survey conducted by the Royal College of Midwives last month, 75% of respondents reported unsafe staffing levels in their workplaces during a week in early March. Paul Whiting, chief executive of Patient Safety Charity Action Against Medical Accidents, expressed dismay at the scale of harm and associated costs. This confirms the distressful accounts we hear from parents grappling with the consequences of having a brain-damaged baby and demanding answers from the NHS about how such tragedies occurred. Maternity services are in a dire state, as evidenced by the alarming number of services deemed inadequate by the CQC's inspections. The Department of Health and Social Care declined to comment due to the ongoing general election campaign. However, at the launch of the Birth Trauma Report, Health Secretary Victoria Atkins acknowledged that far too many women experience subpar maternity care within the NHS. Unacceptable variations exist across the country in the quality of services provided to women, she stated. Some mothers endure utterly unacceptable care with lifelong consequences. NHS resolution declined to provide comment at this time.